Road conditions in the Syracuse area have been pretty bad today. As you all know, we've been having heavy snow for most of the afternoon, but the road crews are out. They're doing a good job of clearing the roads, and by tomorrow morning, it looks so rush hour morning hours anyway will be A-OK. Basically, right now, we can draw a low-pressure system just about east of the Syracuse area, and this low is causing some heavy snow to break out across northeastern portions of New York State. The snow is ending here in Syracuse in the last hour, but north and east of here, they are getting wiped out. Heavy snow now falling at Albany and 20 degrees. The same holds true at Burlington, Vermont, where it's 16 degrees, and Messina, New York's now reporting moderate snow, and the temperature there 12 degrees. Pressures are falling rapidly across Albany and Burlington, indicating that the storm will probably jump northeastward and be moving out of our range. Already we're seeing improving weather conditions out to our west. 19 degrees and partly cloudy skies out in Rochester, 17 and only scattered clouds in Buffalo, and 17 degrees in Jamestown, New York. In Syracuse, 18 degrees, and the snow ending in the last hour. We've only had about an inch of snow so far. On the national weather map, the storm system, which developed earlier this afternoon and formed across West Virginia, is now racing rapidly north-northeastward. It is now just north of Albany. The storm will continue to race northeastward into the Gulf of St. Lawrence, and when that happens, it's going to serve to pull down the coldest air of the season. You really can't see it yet. You only have 23 degrees in Chicago and 20 degrees up in northern Minnesota, but if you look way up here, 25 below zero and 23 below zero up near James Bay, that's where our cold air is coming from, and that will be coming down across this region during tomorrow. Meanwhile, we have more trouble to announce for you. Later in the weekend, we have this system to watch. Right now, computer guidance is indicating that this low-pressure system now across north of Montana will drop southeastward, redevelop here in Missouri, and then race rapidly east-northeastward, and we could have another interval of heavy snow developing here, perhaps as late as Saturday or early Sunday. Looking at the present statistics right now at the Syracuse airport at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the temperature now at 18 degrees, 83% humidity. The barometer is rising, and the winds are now northerly at 16 miles an hour, and they're gusting, and they're going to continue to bring in the colder air for tonight. The forecast for the Syracuse area spells out this way. For tonight, we'll look for snow gradually ending and turning colder. Now, snow accumulations will be light. They'll only give out about another inch of snow locally, but well north and east of here, you could see accumulations of up to 10 inches north of Glens Falls. Lows by morning, 6 to 10 degrees. Then tomorrow, partly sunny, windy, and bitter cold. High temperatures tomorrow only of 10 degrees. And then the outlook for Saturday and Sunday, a little bit ominous as we can see it now. Clouding up on Saturday with temperatures only in the single numbers. And then Sunday, heavy snow likely to break out with high temperatures of 15 degrees. That's the weather stories we see it here. Now back to you, Bill. It's been a crazy day, and we've got some interesting developments taking place over the next 24 hours. I have to point out that we didn't get as cold today as expected. The cold Arctic air lagged back west of the mountains, and we still remained rather tepid this afternoon. Temperatures remain in the upper 20s. On the national weather map, the cold front, as predicted, moved across the region early this morning, kicked off some pretty good snow showers across northern New Jersey, up to an inch of snow up there. But the front is now out to sea, and all we see now is just rather mediocre Arctic air right now. Temperatures dropping back into the middle to lower 20s. However, we've got some developments out to our west. At the present time, we have a secondary cold front now developing across the northern plain states, and a point of occlusion. There's a large area of snow in response to some good upper-level moisture and an upper-level disturbance, which is going to be kicking southeastward during the next 24 hours. A wave of low pressure will develop somewhere over the lower Tennessee Valley, and then it's going to race east-northeastward over New Jersey tomorrow night. We look for some snow developing here during tomorrow afternoon with the approach of this system, and that will be the mechanism that will finally bring down the cold Arctic air here tomorrow night and on Saturday and Sunday. This will be the mechanism to bring it down. As you can see, 33 below zero up in central Canada, 8 degrees above zero in Chicago, 8 below zero in Fargo, North Dakota. This is just a preview of things to come over the weekend. Across the state today, we basically found that skies were clear after the early morning clouds and snow showers, and the high temperatures at 3 o'clock this afternoon ranged from 23 degrees up at High Point, 29 degrees in Morristown, 33 degrees down in Millville, and the air quality today was satisfactory in all areas. The forecast then in detail will spell out like this. For tonight, we're looking for basically clear skies, quite cold, low temperatures ranging from 10 degrees in the far north to the upper teens in the deep south. For tomorrow, clouds increasing rapidly in the morning, giving way to snow in the afternoon. The snow will probably end later tomorrow night. Accumulations, as we see it now, between 1 to 3 inches. The higher accumulations off to the north. Highs tomorrow in the 20s. For Saturday and Sunday, mostly sunny both days. High temperatures in the teens and remaining windy. Cal Sisto will have an update on the weather picture tomorrow night, and he'll tackle this forecast problem by the horns.
But for most of us, we don't want to hear about coping. We want to hear about relief. And so, Keith Eichner, we ask you, how do you spell, where is it, relief today, Keith?
How do you spell relief? N-E-V-E-R. Never, at least not this week. Perhaps by the weekend, we may have a significant break in the heat wave, but for the next 4 to 5 days, Paul, it's going to be rough news. As a matter of fact, it was 6 months ago today that I started here, and it was the coldest day of the year. We had lows of 10 below zero in Atlantic City and highs of 10 to 15 above. And today, what a contrast 6 months later, and we're sweltering in one of the worst heat waves in almost 4 years. In any event, I would say that the best way to cope with the heat is to wear light clothing, make sure that it's light in color, don't strain yourself, don't mow the lawn at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and at the same rate, drink lots of water and stay cool. Get near a pool if you possibly can. On the national weather map, boy, what a mess. High pressure anchored well out here in the Atlantic Ocean at Bermuda High is pumping in a west to northwesterly flow of hot and relatively humid air across this part of the country. However, there is some slight relief that may come down during the next day or so. We have a weak bubble of high pressure across Quebec, Canada. This cold front is moving slowly southward. This cold front will move probably south of New Jersey during tomorrow, and coastal sections will see a significant break in the heat. We will see temperatures there in the 80s, but well inland, temperatures will still be in the lower 90s, but not as bad as it was today. Then the warm air, the hot air, the really hot air will get back in here on Wednesday, and for the rest of the week, it looks as though it will be very warm. As you can see, 87 degrees in Syracuse, 89 degrees in Baltimore, 98 degrees down in southern Illinois, and as you heard earlier today, nearly 100 degrees in the New York City area. Across the state, these were the high temperatures as of 4 o'clock this afternoon. 96 degrees in Newark, 93 degrees in Parsippany, 93 degrees in the Phillipsburg area, 94 in Camden, and even look at this, 92 degrees at the coast at Atlantic City. The forecast doesn't spell out much in the way of relief. For tonight, we look for clear skies and lows everywhere ranging from near 70 in those cooler sections to the upper 70s in the cities. And then for tomorrow, a sunny day, perhaps not as hot today, might by a few notches anyway. Highs in the upper 80s to 94 degrees, middle 80s along the coast. And for Wednesday, sunny, high temperatures of 90 to 95 degrees. Paul? Pressure was rising, an indication of good things to come. On the national weather map, a high-pressure area is continuing to build slowly eastward from Illinois. However, another upper air disturbance came by the state this afternoon, caused some heavy clouds to develop, and some showers were reported in some sections of western New Jersey, but those showers are now gradually ending, and we do look for a clearing trend to gradually overspread the area during the nighttime hours. Tomorrow, as the high-pressure center drifts right over us, skies will be mostly sunny during the daytime hours, and temperatures should average plus or minus a few degrees of 20 degrees Celsius. Then some trouble. A low-pressure area is expected to develop across the Oklahoma region during tomorrow. It will then move rapidly northeastward. Clouds will increase, and by Friday, there's a good possibility that clouds will be with us with some rain. So the forecast in detail in Celsius for tonight, mostly clear skies after the clouds gradually leave the area, and rather cool, lows ranging from 6 to 9 degrees in the rural areas to near 11 degrees Celsius in the larger city areas and the coast. For tomorrow, Thursday, sunny skies, again some fair weather cumulus clouds around, also an increase in high cirrus. Afternoon highs of 17 to 21 or roughly 65 to 70. And the outlook for Friday, cloudy, rain developing in the afternoon, high temperatures on Friday near 21 degrees or 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And for those of you who are watching me now and have lots of feelings about this, strong feelings for or against, we're going to give you an address. I want your input. I want you to write me here. Tell me what you think of the metric idea for this weather program. And you can address it to me, Keith Eichner, Metrics, 1573 Parkside Avenue, Trenton. The zip code is 08638. Write me, please. We have to know. We want to have your input. And tomorrow night, Cal Sisto will join you with more on the weather. Paul.
I think I've seen those kilopascals somewhere before. I think it was on a menu, Keith.
Well, if you're wagering on good weather, Keith Eichner tells us you'll lose. Keith?
That's right. You lose always, because for the next 3 days, we're not looking for any significant improvement on our weather. As a matter of fact, it's going to be going downhill even further as the days go on. Across the state as of 7 o'clock tonight, the conditions continue to deteriorate. Drizzle is being reported in many sections of southern New Jersey, and strong northeasterly winds are being reported across the coastal sections of the state, and that could cause some slight beach erosion during tonight and tomorrow as those northeasterly winds continue. 59 degrees at 7 o'clock in Atlantic City, a little bit warmer inland, 60 degrees in Millville, 61 degrees in the Camden area. 57 degrees in Trenton, 58 degrees in Asbury Park. Off to our north, skies are partly cloudy, but there too, skies will be clouding over shortly. 58 degrees in Newark and 55 degrees in Morristown. Go way off to the northwest, skies there are mostly clear at this hour. On the national map tonight, the cause of the deteriorating weather pattern is this high-pressure area. It's now southeast of Nova Scotia. It's pumping in an east to northeasterly flow of moist Atlantic moisture, and that's causing the clouds to build in. This is not a good situation for us because whenever you get a high-pressure area off in this position, it always brings us ocean moisture, and that brings clouds and occasional drizzle. Unfortunately, there is no triggering mechanism to really bring this moisture out and cause good rain, so we're just going to have helter-skelter rain and drizzle over the next several days. Eventually, though, this high-pressure area will continue to drift further out into the Atlantic, and then this complicated frontal system with low pressure out across the Oklahoma region will gradually move in our direction, and heavier rains will probably develop here on Friday into Saturday, and then perhaps, just perhaps, some clearing developing late Saturday and Sunday as higher pressure builds in from the Great Basin region. So the forecast in detail for tonight, we're looking for drizzle and clouds to develop across the entire state. Lows tonight of 52 to 58 degrees, near 60 in the deep south. Tomorrow, look for cloudy and drizzly weather all day, perhaps some partial sun over the extreme northern sections during the afternoon hours, but don't bet on very much. Let's just say cloudy and drizzly tomorrow. Highs of 60 to 68 degrees, 68 across the south, and the outlook for Friday, showers as that storm system gets closer to us. Highs on Friday, generally in the 60s to perhaps as warm as 70 degrees. Put up with it, and maybe we'll have a good weekend after.
Well, that winter weather was back again today. I saw some snow flurries up in Morristown. Keith, is winter back?
Yeah, it's back tonight, Kent, and I would suggest that any of those of you who might be panicking tonight, don't panic. It's only one of those winter's last gasp situations, and it's quite an insult considering that temperatures got up to near or just over 80 degrees on Saturday, and here it is 2 days later, and temperatures are in the low to mid-30s, with some areas still reporting freezing drizzle. On the national weather map tonight, a large Canadian high-pressure system. This is a strong one, and this is the second strong one we've seen in about 2 weeks. The central pressure is well over 30.60 inches. The center tonight is north of Caribou, Maine. This is the cause of the cold air that we've had over our part of the country for the last day or so. As the high-pressure area recedes out to sea, though, warmer air is trying to invade now from the Ohio Valley, and the overrunning from the warm, moist air moving in over this cold surface dome of air is causing the clouds and the precipitation. Initially, when the precipitation moved in, the air was so dry that it had to fall in the form of snow and ice pellets, but now as the air is becoming more saturated, it is changing over to rain. Nonetheless, we'll see temperatures rise into the low 60s tomorrow at portions across southern New Jersey, and perhaps on Wednesday we'll see a more return to normal with temperatures returning into the 50s. Across the state map as of 7 o'clock tonight, radar is showing some scattered patches of sleet. Elsewhere, it's raining across most of the state. Temperatures not too different, 36 degrees in Atlantic City, 32 degrees in Dover. The forecast for tonight, we're indicating cloudy skies, rain across most sections, but temperatures will be below freezing across the higher elevations. There, it will be freezing rain, temperatures ranging from 28 across the colder sections, 34 across the larger cities. And then for tomorrow, a cloudy day, but some sunshine appearing, especially across southern New Jersey in the afternoon. Temperatures ranging from 45 to 55 to perhaps as warm as the 60s in the south and away from the ocean.
Well, Keith almost had the night off tonight, and we almost didn't have a weather forecast. Will you explain, Keith?
I'll explain. There was a major computer outage down in Maryland today. It was something that we've never seen before. It was so extensive that the military has had to back up the civilian sector of the people who use weather service products. And Air Force Global Weather Central has been supplying us with the data that we'll be needing to put this forecast together. But for a while, we were a little bit concerned about that because a lot of the data that was available was only good up until around 6 or 7 o'clock this morning. In any event, though, we're indicating a gradual improvement in our weather. Lots of weather to talk about tonight. A storm system, it's been plaguing our weather map for the last 2 days. That storm is now east of the Cape Hatteras coastline. Very strong winds today, though, causing some record high tides along Virginia. And even in Cape May, our observer there reported wind gusting up to 50 miles per hour only a few hours ago. But as the storm system gradually pulls out, it will drag its precipitation and cloud shield out to sea with it, and we should look for sunshine developing tomorrow as high pressure across Michigan builds in our direction. Look at this. Even this afternoon, it was 65 degrees in Syracuse with sunshine, while we held in the mid to upper 50s all day, and a record low temperature this morning of 33 degrees in Atlanta, Georgia, as that storm system whipped in very cold air. Here's the forecast. For tonight, we're indicating cloudy skies over the east, but gradual clearing skies over to the west. Northerly winds at 20 to 25 knots, low temperatures in the upper 30s to mid-40s. Then for tomorrow, a mostly sunny day. Temperatures topping out to between 58 and 65 degrees, and Saturday even looks better. with sunny weather and temperatures approaching 70 degrees. So overall, nice weather coming up over the next several days. Kent.
Chains that snag, etc. So the commission ordered mandatory safety standards, hello there, for any bikes.
We'll take another look at the question of amnesty for deserters and draft dodgers. Ford recently made a promise to the widow of Michigan Senator Philip Hart to look into her request of blanket amnesty.
Temperatures range through the mid to upper 50s. Air quality generally unsatisfactory because of stagnation problems that we've been having recently. And our forecast now spells out like this. Oh, I'm sorry. But lest we forget, 37 years ago today, yes, on November 11th, Armistice Day in 1940, in the central United States, in Iowa, Nebraska, that area, 200,000 turkeys lost their lives in the blizzard of 1940. I hope that doesn't keep you up all night tonight, Jeff.
Cal, you're great.
Well, Eichner is back, and new center